Claude Code just dropped its most powerful command yet. It's a slash command and it's called /goal. You can now give Claude Code any task, walk away and come back to a finished project. No more babysitting. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can use this tool. I'm going to show you why it works so well, and I'm going to give you a real example to try at home. But let's start with what /goal actually is. In Claude Code, when you type /, a little menu pops up with a list of inbuilt commands. Each one of these does something very specific, and /goal is one of those commands. It's super powerful and it's really easy to use once you know how. So here's the problem that /goal solves. Let's imagine you want to build an app with multiple different features like user registration, payments, and instant messaging. Now that's a lot of work. Without /goal, Claude will do it. It's great at that already, but you'd give Claude Code one feature at a time and off it goes. Step by step, you build the app, feeding it the requirements each time and end up babysitting Claude Code. But now with /goal, you just type in your goal followed by one sentence describing exactly what you want to build. And then Claude gets to work. It runs autonomously until the job is fully complete. Planning, coding, testing, until all the features and requirements are met. Right, so let's jump in and take a good look at how to use this. When you type in /goal, you need to tell Claude what done looks like, so it can verify what it's built and that it's met your requirement. You should type in something like this: build an app to host my courses where a user can register, make a payment, and get access to a list of video courses. That's a prompt Claude can understand, and then Claude just gets to work. Now here's something that's really interesting about this. I want to show you why this works so well. When you set a goal, there's actually two agents working at the same time. There's the main agent, the worker, which is doing the work. It's actually writing the code. And then there's a second AI agent. Think of it like a supervisor. After every single step that the worker agent does, the supervisor jumps in and starts reviewing it, checking the work to make sure it's done and that it's meeting your requirements set in /goal. If the supervisor isn't happy with the work, it's sent back to the worker and told exactly what needs to change. And then it kicks off another turn. The worker goes back to work and then the supervisor checks it again and again until the job is done. And that is when Claude will stop. And that's the magic behind it. Now let's take a look at setup, because if you want your project to completely run on its own with no babysitting, then we need to turn on auto approve. By default, every time Claude wants to run a command or edit a file, it's going to ask for permission and it will become a headache. Going to say, can I do this or can I do that? If you don't turn on auto approve, it will pause and wait for you to click every single time, even when /goal is running, which defeats the whole purpose, but it is there for safety. So if you want it to run automatically, turn on auto approve. Make sure you fully understand the risks. You're giving Claude permissions to do everything on its own. And while Claude does have safety limits set in, auto mode does circumnavigate some of these safety nets and allow it to run commands on your system automatically. So make sure you're comfortable with that before you turn it off. Now there's one really important thing that we need to talk about, because if you get it wrong, /goal will run forever and burn through all your tokens. Remember when I said you need to tell Claude what done looks like? This has to be something that the supervisor can confirm. It can't be something vague. Claude will just end up spinning in a circle and burning through all your tokens. For example, you don't want to say, build me an app to host my course. How does the supervisor know which features the app needs to build? It doesn't. It's way too vague. So Claude will either build something that doesn't work, or it will just keep going and building features you never wanted, and it won't stop. And it will burn through all your tokens, or if you're using the API, it will spend real money. Instead, you want to say something like this: build me an app to host video courses where a customer can register, pay a fee, and access the courses by logging in. The landing page should show the available courses, and you see the difference here. The second one has a finish line that the supervisor can actually verify. It knows exactly what done looks like. And there's one more thing. You can always add a safety cap at the end of your condition. You can say something like stop after 20 turns or stop after 30 minutes. This is your safety net. It's a hard stop that Claude has to listen to. If something goes wrong, Claude is going to stop instead of running all night and burning through your token. So let's say you want to start a business. When you start a new business, every month your accountant is going to need you to supply them a bank statement and match up all the invoice PDFs. It's a headache to do this and it will take hours of your time. So if we're going to build an automation with the /goal command, I would tell /goal what done looks like. Take a look at this. I'm asking Claude to run through a CSV of bank challenges and match them up to invoices. And if it's not done in 20 minutes, it's going to stop. And this is what it comes back with. What would have taken me half a day to do manually is done in less than 20 minutes. I didn't have to do a single thing besides upload the files and type in the prompt. And it did all that manual data entry for me. Okay, so let's say you want to start growing your small business. You know that you need to be posting social media, but you don't have time to do it. You don't have time to plan it or write it or come up with new ideas every single day. And I think almost every small business struggles with this. They know they should be doing it, but it's a lot of hard work. So if I was going to use the /goal command, I would say something like this. Take a look at this prompt. I'm asking Claude to build a full week of social media content with titles, descriptions, and images. And if it's not done in 15 minutes, it's going to stop. A short while later, and let's see what it's come back with. This kind of thing right here is what a social media manager would charge thousands of dollars every month to do. Now, you've got an accountant automation, a social media manager, but what if you want to build an actual app for your customers? Now, you might be thinking, I can't build an app, I'm not a developer, but you're not building it. Claude is. You're just going to tell it what you want, and even complete beginners can do this. And if you want a full in-depth guide on how to build apps and automations, I've put that all in the school community. I'll leave a link in the description and you can go ahead and check that out there. So getting back to the course app, here's the prompt I would use. I'm basically asking it to create an app where a user can register, pay for a course, and access that course. And a short while later, and there it is, a working course platform with signups, payments, and logins. This is the kind of thing I used to charge companies tens of thousands of dollars to build. Now, before you run this thing, let's talk about cost first. You do need a pro or max plan. You also need to make sure you tell Claude exactly what done looks like. Otherwise, /goal can get very expensive. Like I mentioned before, the supervisor keeps Claude running until the job is done. So if your prompt is vague, it will never be satisfied. Claude will just keep going and burn through all your tokens. Now, there are a couple of ways you can avoid this. Number one, always set a limit by adding this line to the end of your prompt. Stop after 20 turns or stop after 20 minutes. Number two, check your usage before you start. You can type /usage and see where you're at with credits. Number three, start small. You don't need to set your first goal to build your entire business. Start with one automation, one process, or one feature of an app that it can build. If you do these three things, you shouldn't run into any issues. And that's /goal. You tell it what you want done, you show it what done looks like, and Claude gets to work on its own. The supervisor makes sure your requirements are met and the worker does the actual work. Now, if this helped, please leave a like and subscribe or drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.